What is up guys, welcome back to the channel. As I promised in my previous video, today I'm gonna bring you guys another top 10 free-to-play Steam games that comes under 500 megabyte download. So this will be the second part of this series. If you haven't watched our previous video, definitely go ahead and check out the part 1. I will link it in the description. Anyway guys, all the games that I'm gonna mention in this video are completely free to play and available to download right now on Steam, and they all comes under 500 megabyte download, which is absolutely nothing. You can download these games right away and start playing. Anyway, we got a lot to cover in today's video, so sit back, relax, and let's get right into it. Alright, at number 10 spot we got a really awesome party game called Just Act Natural. So it's a free-to-play handcrafted online multiplayer party game where you play with your friends and your goal is to hide among the NPC characters and avoid detection at all costs. So it's kind of an hide and seek type of a game, but typically you don't have to go and hide anywhere because as the name suggests, you have to be just act natural. The game also has a variety of cool game mode and stages, and you can also play with up to 8 other players online. Overall, it's a really cool party game, currently having more than 4,300 plus reviews on Steam, and most of them are very positive, and the download size is also very small, comes at only around 300 megabytes. System requirements are also not that heavy. You can even play this game with a very low-end system as well. Next up, we got an extremely popular free-to-play title on Steam, and that is a game called Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel. You probably already heard about this game. So it's basically a free-to-play cross-platform card-based strategy game where you have to take part in these fast-paced dynamic duels and challenge the duelists all around the world. It's an extremely popular free-to-play game, having billions of players playing the game daily, and the game is also support cross-platform progression, which means the game is available on pretty much all the major platforms including PlayStation, Xbox, Nintendo Switch, Android, iOS, and also on PC. And you guys know I'm not typically into these type of strategy based games, so definitely it's not my cup of tea, but if you are someone who enjoy these type of games, this is one of the best games that you should try out. Right now the game is having close to like 65,000 reviews on Steam, and the download size is also comes at around 220 megabytes, which is absolutely nothing, and the system requirements are not that heavy. You can play this game with a very low end system. Next up, we got one of my absolute favorite casual first-person shooters on Steam, and that is the Banana Shooter. I covered this game bunch of time in my channel before, and it's one of the absolutely fun game to play, especially if you got bunch of friends to play alongside with you. It's just a super fun, fast-paced, free-to-play casual shooter with really fun movement mechanics and very easy to handle gunplay. One of my favorite features of this game is that you can make your own custom game and invite bunch of your friends and have a really fun time. But let's say if you don't have friends, if you want to play single player, you can definitely join other players' lobbies very easily using the server browser. The game is still holding on to 2,000 plus daily concurrent players, which means you have no issues finding games, and the download size is also just around 500 megabytes, and the system requirement is something you don't have to worry about. You can basically play this game with integrated graphics. If you're someone who really enjoy playing sports game, our next game is definitely the one for you, and it's a brand new game called STG Football, and it's just released onto the Steam about a couple of weeks ago, and it is completely free to play. And the game represents American football, which is honestly something that I'm not familiar with, but seems to me it's a really fun, solid arcade football game which heavily focuses on the real-time strategy and the teamwork. So it's primarily a multiplayer game supporting unique 4v4 gameplay, and the game also does support officially licensed Steam, which is another good addition. Right now the game is only having around 75 reviews, still very new to the Steam, and most of the reviews are mostly positive, and the download size is only come at around 400 megabytes, and the system requirements are also pretty acceptable as well. Next up, we got a really cool looking 2D action game called the Expender Bros, which remember the good old classic Contra games that I used to play a lot back in the day as a kid. It's a pretty old game right now, initial release way back in 2014, but even to this date, it's one of the most well-reviewed free-to-play titles available right now on Steam, and it's just a pure chaos, full of action, really challenging and fun 2D game, and I absolutely love this classic looking pixelated graphic style, and if you are an old gamer like myself, you're absolutely gonna love this game. Right now the game is having overwhelmingly positive reviews on Steam, and the download size is only around 150 megabytes, and the system requirements are honestly not that heavy. You can play this game with a very potato system as well. Alright guys, before moving on, if you enjoyed the video so far, please go ahead and drop a like on the video, and as always, if this video reach 100 likes within the first 24 hours, I'll be definitely making the part 3 of this series, so drop a like and a sub, much appreciated. Alright, next up we got a pretty popular game that you guys already familiar with, and it's a game called 1v1.lol. So it's a very fun free-to-play third-person shooter with very similar gunplay and building mechanics to Fortnite, and you simply have to challenge other players all around the world to 1v1 with you or try to be the last man standing in the dedicated battle royale mode. As you guys can see, it's very similar to Fortnite. The gunplay, the building mechanics, the movement, they pretty much took all the fun part in Fortnite and kind of put it in together into this smaller size game, which could be the reason why this game is blowing up right now. This game was actually started as a browser game, I remember playing back in the day, but somehow now it's available on Steam and doing really well and very popular right now, and having more than 1500 plus reviews, and most of them are mostly positive, and the download size only comes at around 270 megabytes, and the system requirements are also very low specs friendly, so you don't have to worry about it at all. Alright, next up we got another very popular top-down 2D style battle royale game, and it's a game called Super Animal Royale. It's a very popular game on Steam. You probably already played this game before. It's a super fun free-to-play 64-player battle royale game, but the game tried to capture most of the casual audience with this beautiful cartoonish graphic style and the top-down 2D style shooting. Overall, it's a very fun, very casual game. Definitely give it a try, especially if you have a free time. Right now the game is very popular, having more than 37,000 plus reviews, and most of them are very positive. And the download size also comes at around 450 megabytes, and it's another very easy to run game even if you have a very low end system. So definitely give it a try, especially if you're looking for a fun casual battle royale game to try out. Alright, next up we got a cool little survival game that is super fun to play, and I'm guessing most of you guys already know about this game, and it is called Muck. The game became extremely popular back in 2021 and it was made by our favorite YouTuber Danny. The game also got all the cool elements for a typical survival games like collecting resources, crafting and building, but on top of that the game also got a raw-like survival mode where you have to face waves of enemies alongside couple of boss fights at the end, which is super fun to play, especially if you got bunch of friends to play alongside with you. Overall, it's a very solid game, and the download size only comes at around 100 megabytes, which is absolutely nothing, and this game is honestly not that demanding. You can even play this game with a very potato system as well. Alright, moving on at number 2 position, we got probably one of my favorite game from today's list, and that is a game called Snake Force. So it's a really fun free-to-play top-down style shooter game which definitely inspired by the classic game Snake. The basic concept is very similar, but the gameplay is much more innovative. In this game, you gotta go around with your squad and try to rescue all the bros and fight alongside with them, and basically increasing the total number of your squad members. Overall, it's a super fun, very short and sweet single-player game. Right now having close to like 5,000 reviews, and the reviews are overwhelmingly positive, which is incredible, and the download size is also only come at around 150 megabytes, and the system requirements are also not that heavy, pretty acceptable as well. Alright, next up at number 1 spot, we got another super popular free-to-play game on Steam, and that is called Stumble Guys. This game is definitely inspired from the much more popular game Fall Guys, but most importantly, this game is absolutely free-to-play, and you can run this game even with a very low-end system, which is something that is not possible with the original Fall Guys. But with all the recent new updates coming to the game, I would say this game is much more popular than Fall Guys right now, and it is also supported by cross-platform, which means the game is both available on Android and iOS, and you can play with up to 32 other players online. Overall, it's a super fun casual game, especially if you are a big fan of Fall Guys and looking for a free-to-play, more like a low-end alternative to Fall Guys. This game is definitely your best option. Right now, the game is having more than 93,000 reviews on Steam. Most of them are very positive, and the download size is also very small, only comes at around 350 megabytes. System requirements are also not that heavy, very much playable even with a very low-end system. Well, that's about it for this video, guys. I hope you guys find some great free-to-play Steam games that you can play under 500 megabyte download. So if you want to see the part 3 of this series, definitely go ahead and drop a like on the video. As I said, guys, if this video reaches 100 likes within the first 24 hours, I'll be definitely making the part 3 of this series. And finally, guys, if you enjoyed the video so far, as always, drop a like and also subscribe, because we cover tons of different free-to-play games on our channel. I'll catch you guys soon in my next video. Stay safe.